All right, great. So welcome everyone. I hope everyone is okay. And I welcome you to No Wallet Demo 22nd. Today we're going to discuss the Yield Boost release, which happened recently. We're going to take a look on the governance features and how we're going to implement them quite soon in No Wallet. And of course, in the end of the demo, we'll see the roadmap and updates on it. So while we're waiting, others, feel free to scan the QR code or go to the link linktree.ee/nowallet to join our community and social media links. And let me also accept other folks. Yeah, you can join our Twitter, Telegram group, see the recordings of such demos like I'm doing right now on our YouTube, and also all the slides are available. So feel free to scan it or join the link. And now let's talk about recent release, which is 3.8 with the yield boost. So 3.8 release main theme was yield boost, but in addition to yield boost, we also provided 3 big features. So let's go one by one. First of all, we added yield boost, and it's basically the feature which whole Turing and the Oak network is based on. Their focus as a parachain on the Polkadot and Kusama ecosystem is to automate things in the echo, right? And the yield boost is specific use case of their automatization to automate your rewards from staking to make them after compounding to increase your profits. So in other words, let's consider we are talking about TUR staking, but that applies also to Moonbeam, Moonriver staking, and other parachain stakings. But when you were staking on chain, you had only options to receive the transferable rewards, and you had no options using the on-chain logic to restake them, right? And now Turing and the Oak as the parachains will solve this for the ecosystem. So you would be able to schedule the task to basically after compound your staking rewards, but we'll see it in details on the demo. Other points of the 3.8 release was that we expanded the list of supported assets, which allowed us to add some amazing token which was created on the Moonbeam, POOP, which is governance token of the Raresama. Another improvement was to the staking module, which we did, which once again allowed us to expand the staking tokens in the No Wallet by introducing caps of the Ternoa. And lastly, but not the least, recently, the way how the fee is calculated on the substrate basis or the Polkadot and Kusama ecosystem, it was changed. So we have adopted Nova so that users can flawlessly continue to use the app without any issues. So if you would like to have all the latest updates on your Nova, feel free to update to the 3.8. Now, let me show the demo of the yield boost. And for that, I will turn off the screen sharing here, and I will enable it from my mobile device. So just a second. By the way, if you have any questions regarding these features or any other features in Nova, feel free to post them in chat. Yeah, so recording just turned off. And for the screen sharing, let me enable it. So ideally, you should see my screen from the mobile phone. Can you confirm this? Great. So let's take a look on the existing account on the Turing network with the staking enabled and also yield boost enabled. So now we can see that for the Turing, and we are planning to expand this feature to also other tokens like we mentioned Moonbeam, Moonriver, and other parachain staking tokens. So you would be able to see in the staking management the yield boost, which has status on right now. So if you will go there, we will see all the conditions and parameters of the yield boost, which is configured to this precise account. So we can actually just read the screen from top to the bottom, and we can see that for this collator, we are staking this amount of the tokens, and yield boost is enabled. Here's our APY, and we are automatically restaking every 7 days all transfer tokens above, and we can change this parameter to any number that we would like to. And that will allow Turing or Oak network to understand how many tokens from our account we would like to allocate to the staking balance every 7 days. The good thing here is that the blockchain itself, which is Oak, or which is Turing, sorry, in this case, is calculating all these parameters, like how often the restaking will be done for this automation task, and all of this basically done by the blockchain itself. So we are not messing with these parameters, and user don't need to change anything here. So let's see how setup is done for this. Let's start staking on another account the Turing tokens. So we'll select any random collator. For example, let's select SIG. Let's take some TUR tokens. And let's wait while this will be completed. So once that will be completed, we will see how the yield boost setup look like, right? While it's being done, let me check the chat because I saw that something is there. Will that after adjust to include the already staked? Yeah, basically when you see this your stake widget on the main staking screen, this is exactly how much tokens allocated in your staking. And what yield boost or optimization is doing, it's putting everything what is available in your transferable balance and above the threshold which you set up every, like, let's say 7 days or 3 days, it depends on how many tokens you're staking to the staked balance. So we can see that we just set up the staking here for this new account, and let's go to the yield boost because it says off. And now we can see that for now it's yield boost is turned off, but now we can turn it on. And then we can see that for this specific amount of staking, it would be profitable for automation to restake every 19 days, right? All the transferable tokens above, and again, we can specify the threshold, which can be like something like a 10 TUR tokens, right? So as soon as setup continue, I have more information, or not more information, but all this information that I just selected on the confirmation screen. And we just want to make sure that user is clearly understands what's going on and what will happen after. That's why we have additional check mark around the button, right? So yield boost will automatically stake every 19 days all my transferable tokens above 10 TUR. So once that checked, we can basically confirm it, and yeah, that will be submitted to the blockchain. Now, that's all nice and looking good. And if you paid attention, we also added the DApp to our DApp catalog in Nova, which was developed by Turing and Oak team, where you can go and basically see all your staking automation tasks. So if I will go back to this account, for example, or even I can actually use the same one. If I go to the browser, and if I'll go to the ACE, this is the DApp that Turing and Oak team just developed. So that DApp will show you in details what you just did in Nova, right? So Nova just a fancy interface to create the automation tasks. And here you can also see basically the same information that we did. So after compile delegate task, you can see one here, and you can see the details, when it was set up, and all the automation parameters. So that's also useful for a user to see now. Another updates of 3.8 was to basically introduce the cup staking. So if we will go to, I think it was that account. Yeah, so if we'll go to the cup staking now, the code exactly the same as we have for the Polkadot Kusama Polkadot staking. So all of the regular substrate-based stakings, the Ternoa network is using the same palette that all like above mentioned networks using. So that allows us to reuse the functionality, and that's why if you hold any cups token, you can now stake them using the Nova wallet. And the last update was basically to extend the number of assets. And that's why we have now this Majestic token, right? And for the future updates, we also will include the history, so you'll be able to see the transfers which is done with the token. So that would be it for 3.8 demo. Let me know if you have any questions, and let me go back with the screen sharing for the slides. All right, so let's see what we have next, governance. So for the governance, we have 3 goals, basically, as a team to develop one. First of all, we would like to develop the clean, simple, and complete UX UI for the governance, right? So that being said, the solution should allow you to navigate through the governance features conveniently and easily, right? So you should have access to it from your mobile device anywhere and anytime. The second point here is pretty much important right now because we are in the process of transition for the ecosystem from governance 1.0 to governance 2.0, right? And we would like to keep both governance supported in Nova, just because even if Polkadot and Kusama governances will migrate to the next generation one, right? We still have lots of the networks like Moonbeam, Moonriver, and other parachains, which are utilizing the governance 1.0 features and palette, right? And there is no clear date when they will migrate and will they migrate. So that brings us to the topic that we would like to support both versions just to make sure that user can be involved in the governance activities using the Nova wallet. And the third one is a little bit spoiler, or a highlight for the future our work. But while we were developing the clean, simple, and complete solution for the governance, we are also considering how we can solve, let's say, the involvement topic to the governance right now, which is happening in the ecosystem. For those who don't know, basically the involvement to the governance is a bit low at this moment. It's around 1%. From the total accounts. So we would like to increase this value by not only providing the convenient way to participate it to the governance, but also we would like to kind of innovate the UX and see how we can involve or attract users' participation to the governance using the UX best practices. So we are thinking how to do it. We are working on it, and we will provide more details in our next proposal. For the current version of the governance, you can see the examples of the 2 screens. First one would be the list of all referendums available to be voted. The interesting thing here is that we faced a limitation of the this bottom menu on the bottom side of the mobile phone. The best practice is to keep it to 5, right? And the iOS will even not allow you to go beyond that. So we decided to combine the governance and the crowd loans for basically 2 reasons. First of all, it lays down to the idea of the voting of a user, right? So we are voting for the referendums, and we are also voting for the certain networks which will join the ecosystem, right? The second one is that the crowd loans topic is now, I would say, not so hot right now, right? So we saw lots of the networks onboarded to the ecosystem already, right? And what is happening right now, we see that the same networks are acquiring the slots for the future leases, right? While the new networks are still joining, but it's not as much as it was before. So we will still keep the crowd-loans functionality, of course, and we keep it improving, right? But for now, we would like to focus the voting tab first on the governance, and the crowd loans can be accessed from this tab as well. But that being said, we will have the list of all available referendums. We will make sure that user understanding what's going on right now. So what this exactly referendum is, what is the status of it, what is the voting parameters, and so on. So that would be our work until the middle of October, when we are planning to release our first iteration of the governance features. So let me know if you have any questions about it, and I will move forward to the slides. So we're approaching the third quarter ending, and the only one thing which is left for us is the community requested features, which we actually finished, and now we are testing the last feature, which is total balance breakdown, and we're planning to release it quite soon. So we are, let's say, on the schedule, and we're also working right now on the governance support, which is planned for the next quarter. worth to mention that we are planning to submit a new Kusama treasury proposal, I would say the next month, which means that this roadmap would be refined and more details would be provided for the next quarter and probably next year. So yeah, that's exactly the status. We are working on the governance right now in terms of the implementation and also the mockups for this version and also the next one. And we are finalizing the community requested features by finishing the last one, which is total balance breakdown. It is in testing phase, so we are releasing it quite soon. So that would be it from our side. Are there any questions left? All right. Yeah, thank you so much for the good luck. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to post them in our community channels. And I thank you everyone who participated, and I wish you a great day. See you in 2 weeks. Cheers.